I saw The Bride on Thursday, and it was what I wanted, hoped, and dreamed that Joker 2 would be, and then I was sadly mistaken. This was a lot less painful to get through, and it also felt like it was happening for a reason. I went into it, I think, thinking that I was going to be as disappointed as I was with Joker 2, and I promise I won't keep comparing them the entire movie because I don't think that's fair to The Bride. Really happy that it wasn't a musical. There were like old Hollywood musical elements to it, but I really appreciate those. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was actually really great as his character. My biggest issue with the movie as a whole was sadly the Mary Shelley aspect. I think my parents actually saw it a couple days after me, and my dad had a really interesting take, which was if she kept the Mary Shelley part in the beginning and then brought it back at the end and had it as this like these disconnected bookends, I think that would have worked a lot more. But having her in the beginning and then having the bride be like possessed by Mary Shelley for the rest of the movie, it was really distracting and honestly really irritated me. I hate to say. I kind of think it took the nuance away for what the goal was, which I've seen a lot of interviews that Maggie Gyllenhaal has done for the movie, and I really love the themes of consent. That's probably the biggest theme in this whole movie. And with the things that like Mary Shelley was getting the bride to say, it kind of felt like it was like spoon feeding the message. So I think that is what kind of irritated me. I don't know, the accent and the like split personality vibe was just really distracting for me, and I think I actually would have rated the movie higher and enjoyed it more if that wasn't happening. So that is kind of upsetting. I do think though that Jessie Buckley did an amazing performance as the bride. Obviously, the classic Bride of Frankenstein. I don't really think she says anything, if I'm not mistaken. So it's nice to see the bride as like a real fully formed character. I think Christian Bale was amazing as Frankenstein. I had no doubt about him. I think he's a phenomenal character actor. I also think he just like fully commits, and I really admire that about him. So I was really excited to see him play not quote unquote a bad guy. I'm most familiar with him from my love, which is the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. So I see him as Bruce Wayne when I think of him. I don't think of him in American Psycho. I feel like to me that Christian Bale and Batman Christian Bale are two different people. I don't know why. Characters that fall under this trope of like the misunderstood monster, ever since I was a child, I have a really hard time watching them because I get really upset. Like when I first saw David Lynch's The Elephant Man, I was devastated. Recently, just for the first time, watched the Disney animated movie Hunchback of Notre Dame, and that is horrible. I'm very late on the trend, I know, but like it just makes me so upset. And the scenes in Frankenstein or in The Bride where Frankenstein, where like the cops are seeing him or people are like disgusted by his deformed face, I'm like, okay, it's still Christian Bale and he's still more handsome than the people without stitches on their face. So that's just a little side note. But say hi, Linus. This is Mr. Linny. He's very cute and he's my bride. No, he's my son. But I thought Penelope Cruz and Peter Sarsgaard were amazing as like the detective duo. I actually laughed out loud when he's talking to the other cop at like the train tracks and the cop asks if he wants a cigarette and he's like, no, I'm good. And she's like, I'll have one. And he ignores her and she was like, I'll take one. Thank you. So like there was a lot of that. Like I think the themes of consent and just like showcasing what women go through on a daily basis in general were done really well. And I actually really applaud Maggie Gyllenhaal for the way she handled those themes. I think it was really hard in the beginning to see Ida be assaulted and thrown down the stairs. I mean, all the scenes with violence towards her were really hard to see, but I think that's the point, sadly. I felt upset for the bride, but I also felt like, yeah, everyone in this theater, like, the men mostly, like, that are coming to see Christian Bale play Frankenstein, I'm like, yeah, you are gonna watch that, and you're gonna see that, how disgusting it is. So yeah, I think that was done really well, and I could tell it was done with, like, real intent and care, so I appreciated that. A scientist, was a woman. That was cool. There was a lot of like flipping gender norms and I appreciated that as well. I thought the scientist's character was cool. Like I would like want to be friends with her. I was also happy when she talked about doing experiments on cats. I was really nervous. Me and my girlfriend my girlfriend pulled up the Did the Dog Die website, which is like whoever invented that website, I love you. It's a website where you can look up any movie and there's like a list of triggers. The problem is though, I always forget to look up the movie I'm seeing until I'm literally in the seat. So my girlfriend like quickly looked it up and it said that yes, pets were harmed, but there is nothing in The Bride that showed that. So I was relieved about that, but I think it could have just been the talk of bringing cats back to life. That's just like a general trigger, but in comparison, if you see Marty Supreme, you can see lots of animal abuse throughout the movie, if that's what you're into. I do not recommend that. I saw it at the Alamo, so I got to see like the cute little intro where the director like talks about what movies inspired them, and I was really happy when she said like one of her biggest inspirations was Wild at Heart, because that is my favorite David Lynch movie of all time. It's literally a perfect movie, and I think hearing that and how that influenced her and then watching the movie right after, I think that also put me in the correct headspace. At the end of the movie, there was a little cat feature animal actor with a tuxedo cat who had a mustache. I was like, my son Snoopy, shout out Tuxedo Cats. I love them so much. It's my first experience having a tuxedo cat, and he's a perfect angel who sleeps buried into my neck every night. So I'm very lucky, blessed, and talk about the last shot because that made like the entire movie for me. It was a perfect shot. The two of them, the close-up of the hands, and I could hear the beginning of Monster Mash coming in, and I was like, she's not about to do a Monster Mash needle drop. Like, that made my heart so happy, and to see it end with both of their hands coming back to life, I was just like, yes, that was perfect. Credits scene, loved that as well, because if you couldn't already tell from my last video, or if you just know me as a person, you know that I love men getting what they deserve when they are bad men. So that's all I'll say about that. But I think it was fun to see. Definitely better than I was expecting. Definitely things that I really liked about it and appreciated. If you have any love for the classic Universal monsters, I think you should see it. It's fun. Why not? And I love supporting female directors any chance I can. Congratulations to Maggie Gyllenhaal and the cast. Next movie I'm gonna review, I'm seeing Undertone next week with my best friend. We're both terrified. I've seen people saying like it's overhyped and this is what they did with Longlegs and blah blah blah. I was scared of Longlegs, so if that's any consolation, I'm ready. I'm probably not going to be able to sleep at my apartment after because I'll be too scared. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Say bye.